There are free skates that you dream of, and tonight they came one after another inside the Honda Center here in Anaheim, California for the men's free skate. And guess who stands above the rest? Shoma Uno, delivering the Olympic silver medalist, is your 2019 ISU Four Continents Championships winner in men's singles. Wow, that was a fantastic men's free skate, and we're going to break it all down here. Welcome everyone to the Bridgestone Ice Desk. Nick McCarville welcoming you here inside the Honda Center in Anaheim, California. It's been a long weekend of skating, and at times we were a little bit scratchy as far as the quality goes, but not tonight. Not what the men did, not what Shoma Uno did, and not what that final group did in general. Along with me here inside the arena in Anaheim, Brooke Castile, Michael Weiss, and Ashley Wagner. Ashley, you were actually sitting up above with Adam Rapon watching that program break down, and it was just an incredible display of great men's skating.
That final flight is the kind of men's event that you want to watch. There were quads, there was quality. It was one right after the next, I loved that group. There was just so much to offer. The field was so incredibly deep, and everyone pretty much brought their A game tonight.
Yeah, it felt like their A+ game. I mean, I kept feeling like, okay, that was the moment. That was the moment.
Well, we talk a lot about energy in the building, and skaters can either crumble under that pressure sometimes or build off it. And it was like one skater after another just kept getting better and better and better, and nobody crumbled under it. They were all good skaters. There was no bad. Nobody's going to go home tonight feeling like they didn't skate well, you know? I mean, yeah, they'll be maybe third, fourth, or fifth, but even down to, Keegan Messing, Kamoki, like all these people skated very, very solid programs. A fun event to watch.
And Brooke, the crowd got a good workout too, because there were a lot of standing ovations inside the building.
There were, and the crowd was great. Even for the second to the last group, the crowd was standing on their feet. For Tomoki, they stood up, and for the entire event, the crowd was so into it. We had almost a sold-out crowd, and you could really tell that the skaters fed off of that.
Yeah, it was a great crowd here inside the Honda Center here in Anaheim. Let's go ahead and check out those final standings. Shoma Uno walks away the winner. Boyang Jin in second place. Vincent Zhou slips from first to third. We'll talk about that. Keegan Messing delivered tonight. Jason Brown delivered tonight. Shinwa Cha got some under rotation calls, but you felt like he skated so emotionally. Keiji Tanaka had a great night. So did Tomoki Hiwatashi. Oh my gosh, that was awesome. Well, let's go ahead and start off with Shoma Uno. He came in fourth place after that short program, but this free skate, really from the opening notes of music, we were wondering how was that ankle going to hold up for Shoma Uno, and Michael Weiss, he just came out there and there was no doubt about his skating
Well,
tonight.
he was about 9 points behind Vincent Zhou going into the short program, and we talked about the places he can make it up are really in his component marks. This program is just really well performed, really well executed. He uses this quiet subtlety to his advantage, and we talk about sometimes the most powerful thing is silence, and this program has a silent element to it that is just really powerful. And when he hit that first opening quad flip, that was really the one that was going to be the question for him. These toes have been awesome all week. That toe was beautiful. The second quad toe was beautiful. So those elements were ones that he was sure of. It was the flip was the one we were concerned about. When he got past that, he was home free.
But I think it was also his skating quality. This is really difficult music to skate to because, quite honestly, it can either create something so captivating and commanding, or it can be really boring. And you have to be perfect for this to be really good. And he delivered today. The quality of spins, his edges, he hits every little nuance that there is in the music, and it's just so interesting to watch as a viewer. I appreciate every moment of this program beyond the quads that he did phenomenally tonight.
And this was, come on.
And
you
right
can see
there,
how much it meant to him.
I think that's skating through an injury. You could tell on every single jump. He skated great, and I have to give him a lot of credit for being able to not let that injury affect the jumps. Even though he didn't look like he was comfortable, he really didn't. On every jump, he was a little bit off, and he nailed every one still. And that's really hard to do, and that's why he won tonight. Because he is in a class of his own, even if he isn't at his best.
Well, and that's what we were saying coming in, and it was an ankle injury that's been lingering all season, Mike. But when he's got the quad flip. Jackie Wong pointed this out to us, that he just started to get that quad flip in practice just in the last day or so. And the fact that he nailed that to open the program, then it felt like the floodgates kind of opened for Shoma.
It was. That was more like, that was the big ticket item, the big hurdle that he needed to get over. And when he did that, like I said, it was home free after that because the toes have been beautiful. They've been perfect in practice, and that was the big hurdle for him to get over.
Ashley, you've been in the arena for a lot of great Shoma Uno skates in your career. You were up in the rafters. How did it feel up top in the arena? It felt like, for me, ringside, that he was skating one of his best programs. It's certainly a personal best score, but it felt like one of the best of his career.
Absolutely. I think watching it, you felt like you were watching something special tonight. You felt like you were watching a huge accomplishment for him. You know, coming into this free skate, he was in a position that he wasn't quite used to. He was supposed to skate away with this, no problem, and then going into this free skate in 4th place, especially for an event that he doesn't necessarily get all that much out of. I could imagine it's hard to find that drive to push yourself through the free skate. I am so impressed with what he was able to put together, considering that he was injured, considering that he was coming from behind, and then, you know, he only had everything to lose here, not all that much to gain, but he claimed that title, and now this event is completely worth him showing up at.
It also has to be good for him too, because like we said, with the injury to the right ankle, the quad flip is the one that hurts him the most. And so for him to hit that here, knowing that he has to have it when he goes to the World Championships in Japan in March, knowing that he can do that now after that injury, barring any more ankle sprains between now and then you know he's got that under his belt now, and he can feel more comfortable for Worlds.
Okay, well, the Shoma had to go on, and the Shoma did go on. Shoma, me, the money, baby.
Stolen my line twice
we've been
now.
talking about Shoma for like 5 minutes.
I mean,
you had every chance.
That's the first time I've heard that. So
You're a little off your game tonight, Mike.
There's in our production meeting. I'm cheating a little bit.
Shoma,
Sorry,
what
Michael.
you got?
There we go. He did tonight. Shoma Uno is your 4 continents
Shoma
champion.
more.
Let's go ahead and show you more highlights here. Let's go into Jin Boyang, because this is a skater, Mike, that we weren't sure about coming in. He has not had a good season. But holy cow, this opening quad lutz, and then the rest of the program, he just kept delivering.
Yeah, and you know, like we said, but look at this takeoff. Ready? Boyang, Jin.
Oh,
I got another one in. No, seriously, the one he did in warm-up was probably the prettiest quad lutz I've ever seen. Did you guys see the one he did in the warm-up?
It's the biggest. It is huge.
Because it was so high. He's got springs in his legs. But it was nice to see him after that early mistake on that quad lutz to come back, do 2 quad toes, 2 triple axles, and to skate a program that was very good for him technically was big for him.
Yeah, and for him, Brooke, I mean, he's in podium position after the short program, but he's skating last in a men's group that, I mean, I don't remember recently a men's group as good as this. He still came out and brought that same level.
Yeah, and I think after having a good short last night, that really helped him come into the long feeling confident, maybe after not having a great season. And the way the men's event was going when he stepped on the ice, I knew he was going to be good. Everyone was. So, you know, but you know what? For him, he got his rotations called. He's not going to get unders, and that really helped him tonight that some other guys ahead of him did.
That quad lutz, I mean, you tried it in your career, right?
Yep.
It's not, I mean, that jump is one of the most difficult out there. And the way that he gets the air.
It's the most difficult, and that's why I have so much respect for the height that he gets on it. Now,
Yeah,
Vincent
it's
Zhou's is a
crazy.
great quad lutz,
Yeah.
and he does it great in combination. But Boyang's has that extra spring and that extra snap to it,
It's
where he just kind of
massive.
floats out of
Yeah.
the last rotation.
Well, he has time to put the jump down, and it always looks so controlled on the way out just because he has so much air time. And I think that really works out for him.
Do you want to say it again?
Boyang,
Jin.
Jin.
There it was. Boyang Jin, 2nd place at 4
Can't take him
continents.
anywhere.
I do have one thing to
Let's-
say. I'm not ready to move on
Oh,
yet.
no, okay,
I'm
by
not
all
ready.
means, yes.
I really, really, really appreciate his technical ability. As far as the program goes, though, it just does not compare to Shoma or someone like even Keegan. I just don't feel anything when he skates because he's so focused on jump, jump,
Sure.
jump, jump. And it works to his advantage. He's playing a game, but I think for him, in the next couple of seasons, in
Yep.
order for him to be able to compete with Shoma, in order for him to be able to compete with Nathan, he needs to have programs that are so much more complex and connecting movements from every single element. And that's my 2 cents that I just had
love
to
that.
say.
And for you, because of how artistic you were in your career, you want him to focus on that and develop that. And what is that? Working with different choreographies, taking a step away from the jump practices and putting in the extra work
I think
elsewhere?
it's just demanding a little bit more of himself because I don't think it's that he can't do it. He's a very fantastic capable skater.
Sure.
I think it's just that him and his coaching team, when they're putting together programs, they need to start thinking about how am I going to get into this element? How am I going to get out of it in a creative way? And I think he absolutely can do that. And his jumps are so fun to watch. I want the rest of the program to be just as exciting.
Are you available as a spin coach?
Have you seen me spin?
Are you available as a sassy face coach?
Yes.
Okay, there we go. Sassy face, Jin Boyang, Ashley Wagner's got you. Let's go ahead and move on in the podium. Vincent Zhou came in first place after that short program. And Mike, we saw a few under rotation calls in this program. But gosh, I mean, the kid's got to feel pretty proud of being able to deliver after being in first place after the short.
Well, this is exactly what we talked about. He got full rotation on that quad lutz. The toe here was called under.
That was under, yep.
Which was surprising. It's always hard to see from my angle of seating. That looked around. The sow looked like it was definitely under, and that was called under too.
Yep.
But we said that at the beginning. We said that at the beginning of the week. We said it before the free skate here, that was going to be the difference, and it was. And he missed that triple axel there, but that was really only his only real obvious mistake other than the under rotations. But getting better and better with these elements. He just looked like at the end of the program, though, that he started to fade, and that's sometimes what happens with Vincent is when he continues to do those difficult quads, that by the end of the program, and he doesn't have that energy, he doesn't have that pop to his jumps, then all of a sudden you start getting the under calls.
How hard would you say you have to train to put out a program with that many quads? How difficult is it to train every single day?
Well, I mean, I did 2 was the most I've ever done in a program, and so the fact that these guys have 3 and 4 in their programs, I couldn't imagine mentally being focused that long, let alone physically being focused, because I had to put them at the beginning of my program. I had to go 1-2. That's
right,
the way
and
we used to do it.
these guys are doing them in the second half.
Yeah, and these guys do them later. I can't imagine. I thought about doing even a triple axel in the second half of the program later, and that was really a lot of focus for me to do. So for them to do quads late, I understand the under rotation, but I mean, I'm not even going to say maybe it is a training thing. He trains at altitude in Colorado Springs.
But that's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think in Colorado Springs, I felt my strongest when I was at home doing run-through after run-through, section after section, and then I could not imagine training as hard as I needed to train to be ready for competition at altitude. I just don't think that I could physically train that much, and so sometimes I'm curious if that kind of holds him back in a way, instead of it being an advantage.
Yeah, I think it could be.
Yeah, you saw him huffing and puffing at the end. That's by no means that he's out of shape. But, Brooke, you talked to him after that short program. The dedication is there, and he talked about that mental fight, right? That he feels like he's trained his brain as a machine. Sometimes he just has to get out of his own way, and it felt like tonight that he mostly did just that.
Yeah, and you have to remember, too, with this new judging system, it's not so new anymore, but the spins and footwork are extremely difficult as well. They're not breaks, so you're doing 4 quads. His last jump in his program is triple lutz, half loop, triple flip.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the last jump he does. That's the easiest combination in his program. And he's doing these difficult level 4 footworks, difficult level 4 spins, and he's only 18, 17, 18. That's young. Okay, so that'll come with, I think he'll grow a little bit, might fill out a little bit, and, that getting used to doing so many quads in a program is part of it. That's where that mental exhaustion will start to get better.
Those under rotation calls too, he only loses to Jin Boyang by 1 point, just over 1 point for the silver medal. So that cost him, right?
Any one of those elements, if they'd have been fully rotated, would have done it. And even if he would have just landed that second triple axel nicely, because I always thought that too. It's like people would say, oh, well, the judges hit you this way or hit you that way. I'm like, well, if I would have done that last element, they wouldn't have had the opportunity to hit me with that.
You can't leave the door open.
Exactly.
Yeah. You just have to Zhou with the flow.
Oh my gosh.
Am I fired?
That was awesome.
He's never used to do this, and now those were all mine.
You're so funny.
I love the late night shows. They're the best.
It really is. This is when we have the most fun on Bridgestone Ice Test. Speaking of fun, Keegan Messing always has a bit of fun out there on the ice, and this was fun to watch tonight, Ashley. He's a little quirky, right? It's not nuanced what he's doing out there, but he sells it really well.
Okay, I think this is one of those performances. I mean, you have to. I can't even talk about the performance right now. His jumps. We were talking about this earlier. Mike was saying he's one of those skaters where you watch him jump and he shouldn't land the majority of what he does, and yet he's on his feet. He's
Watch
a
this
cat.
one. Watch this landing. He lands in the shoot the duck.
He shouldn't have done that.
He almost fell on that takeoff. He almost missed his edge, and he still did a quad toe
And
and
that's it,
landed
the
it.
power
His
that
spins
it
too,
takes.
though. His spins are so fantastically fast.
Yeah.
Trademark set spin. But I think he's one of those skaters where when I watch him on TV, I don't always get sucked into his performances, but in the arena, this was my favorite program of the night, and I am not someone who usually likes like kitschy programs.
Yeah, sure.
I loved this tonight.
Yeah, and he walked out there just with such joy, and he continued that joy through the whole program.
He is the epitome of a determined skater. I mean, like we said, there is no reason he should land a lot of the jumps in that program, and he landed every single one of them, and that is the definition of a fighter.
Yes.
Every single time. I remember that. I had John Eldridge on the desk earlier. I remember watching him when I used to compete against him. He was one of those who was upside down, inside out, and backwards, and he would land it. And Keegan's second quad reminded me of that, and it's just straight up grit and determination. I love that about him.
He was I'm just gonna give you my moment of the night
Go
right
ahead, by
now.
all
It was
means.
him, 100%. He makes me fall in love with skating again. Everything about him. He was waiting for.
When did you hate it?
I'm just kidding.
You fell in love again with
Okay,
it.
Yeah, let's unpack
he
that.
reminds me what I love about skating.
Sure,
Is
there
that
we
better?
go.
I
Okay.
got you. I'm just teasing you.
Now I
She
lost
just
my
gave
train
him
of
the
thought.
shadiest
No, just
side
the
eye
way
I've
he sold
ever
the
seen.
program.
When he stepped out on the ice and Shoma was waiting for his scores, and Shoma's score came up and it was a good one, Keegan cheered for him and clapped. And that's you never see that.
Nope.
And some people might say, oh my God, he might lose his focus. Not at all. He went out and skated a clean program. He was great. And I just think, I don't know, just watching it, every time he jumped, everyone in the audience was like, whoa, whoa, like they would get out of their seats and like this huge, not just applause, but like they were seeing something in like Cirque du Soleil, like a flying trapeze artist or something. It was insane.
Well, that's
It was
how
so
he
cool.
jumps.
Yeah.
That's absolutely how he jumps. And you just get sucked into what you're watching, and you can tell that he's skating because he absolutely loves it. There's something just so pure about what he's doing, and I'm into it.
That's what I like about him. He's just so confident in himself. Like, he's not the stereotypical figure skater. He's
No.
not what
Right.
every judge writes out, skate to classical music. He's a different style, but he's very comfortable in his style. Like, he went out at the beginning, he had one guard on. Did you guys see
Yes,
that?
and
He's
he
like
was
going
playing around.
playing around with the guards, looking at people, pointing at the
He's
other
having
Canadian.
fun. He's having
Yeah,
a good
he's having
time.
fun.
Very
Awesome.
comfortable in his skin, and that shows in the way that he skates.
Him and Jimmy Ma should do a tour together.
Oh, I'd love that.
Yeah.
I would buy a ticket to that.
I would too.
Should I do it? There's no messing with Keegan. Oh,
That-
my
wasn't as
fire?
good.
Is it
God.
over?
Yeah.
I
I'm
do
going
have-
to close out the show now,
I
Ben.
do have to say,
No
what an
messing.
awesome crowd we have here in
Yeah.
Anaheim. Hey guys, you having fun? Yes? I also want to remind all of you, if you're watching on Facebook or on YouTube, go ahead and leave a comment and we'll try to get to those questions here. And we'll leave the puns behind. No more puns.
No, I had one.
later
I
this-
didn't add mine.
Oh, okay, bye.
The show must go on.
Oh, I already said
Believe that was already said.
You guys are so punny.
Jason Brown, he did not win a gold, a silver, or a bronze, but Mr. Brown really put out a program that he should be proud of tonight. This quad sal, we've been talking it to death, Mike Weiss, but this was Jason Brown doing what he was able to do tonight.
Yeah, seeing him rotate that quad was good. I think he needed to get a rotation under his belt. He's been popping it a lot this season, but he got that one under his belt. This triple axel, triple toe was awesome. We talk about everything that's great about Jason, his spins, his positioning, his choreography, the fact that he has very few crossovers in his program. I continue to just marvel at that. Sometimes I hone in on it because I'm amazed at it. I'm like, okay, he just went from that end of the rink to the other end of the rink into a jump, and he did one crossover, and it was like a half crossover.
He doesn't need really anything to create speed. He does such a good job at moving efficiently. And everything he does to me is just so interesting to watch. I love how he moves on the ice. I wasn't really sure about this free skate when he first put it out at the start of the season, but the more that I watch it, the more I get into it. That spiral sequence, his choreographed step, is so good with the music and the spiral and his extension. I think that there's just so many things that Jason does that are so unique to watch. It's just so interesting. He's so flexible, and the way that he moves, I can really enjoy it because it's just so different. But I do want to see him continue to push the envelope. I feel like it was really big for him to even get that quad sal out. He needs to keep on doing that.
He needs to do it. He needs to do the quad at Worlds. I mean, that's what we all know about
Right.
Jason. He does all the things, all the little things, the little Pac-Man monster that just accumulates points throughout the whole program with his spins and footwork, but it comes down to he needs to have the big scoring elements as well.
And this was a big moment for Jason and for Vincent Zhou because they're headed to Worlds in a few weeks. We don't have Nathan Chen here, but we will obviously have him at the World Championships. The U.S. wants to keep those 3 spots. But I just think overall for Jason, he walks away with a net positive, and I will not throw a pun out there at the end of that really good weekend. Let's go ahead and check in again on those standings. Obviously, Shoma Uno is your 4 continents championships winner in the men's singles division. Jin Boyang, your silver medalist. Vincent Zhou. Now, I also bring this up because we had so many good skates tonight. Junhwa Cha in 6th place. 6 under rotation calls, I think, for him tonight.
So surprised to see that. I don't know. From my angle, I saw a couple, but 6 under rotations. Do you feel like it was one of those nights for him?
And there were a lot of them.
Okay.
I mean, there were a lot of them tonight. And it's not. He's not labeled as that generally. But tonight was just one of those nights where he wasn't getting the normal spring, wasn't getting the normal elevation, and it wasn't working for him.
He just looked a little sloppy tonight in general, I think, and I think maybe that has something to do with it. He was a little ahead with his body.
Yeah.
But I don't know. When I was thinking about this earlier too. We haven't really brought this up. Most of these skaters coming from Asia, they train on Olympic-size arenas, and they usually compete on Olympic size. And when you have to come to the U.S. and you go to NHL size, I've noticed a lot of weird patterns and a lot of people getting really close to the boards on their landings, and that's definitely something that I think has affected them. I know. I'm sorry, guys.
That's okay.
Who won last night?
Rika Kahira.
Rika. She had said that she wasn't comfortable on the ice here. And I think maybe that has something to do with it. And I thought that...
And she won.
Yeah.
Could you imagine if she's comfortable?
Oh my gosh. Well, I did
She
speak
would've won
with
the
a lot
men's
of
event.
athletes, and a lot of athletes said that it feels like a very small sheet of ice, and the corners are very tight. And I also know that Junhwa is training at the cricket club up in Toronto, and that is a very small sheet of ice. But
it is,
I mean, at the same time, I think that this was his first 4 continents, was it not? So I'm sure going into this, there was a ton of pressure that he felt with it as well, and going into it in the position that he was already in. And having gotten that taste of success, he was on the podium at the Grand Prix final. I'm sure he was a little bit intimidated. Sometimes I think as a younger athlete, when you see that possibility of success, you know that now, okay, you are capable of getting a medal. That gets to be really intimidating when you go out onto the ice the next time, because you know you could actually deliver.
This is his first full senior season. Junhwa Cha is 17, and Brian Orser told him in the kiss and cry that he was proud of him. I'm not exactly sure what the words were, but the feeling was he's had a long season. Jackie Wong was detailing how much he skated, and Brian was saying, you should be proud of what you put out there. Because that was a great performance. The under rotations were there. I think he's tired. I think it's been a lot of work for him in his first senior season.
I'm excited to see what he has in the future. I think he has a ton of potential.
It's been very challenging. Challenging? No?
Wow.
Okay, no.
We're getting worse as the night goes on.
All right, sorry,
We're
it's
done.
late.
That's our cue.
I actually really liked that one. Well done.
But I love your expression. Stared at me.
Well, I was looking at you because I thought something was happening to you. I wasn't sure.
Challenging. I like it.
Okay.
Tomoki Hiwatashi, Brooke, we saw what a great nationals that Tomoki had, but tonight, the way that he skated, he wasn't even in that last group, and he brought the whole house down with that free skate.
Yeah, I was on my feet before he was even done. He was great. I mean, what can you say? He was awesome. He has a quad, and he's going to keep rising in the U.S. ranks. And I think he's going to Junior Worlds, right?
Yep, he is.
So his season isn't over, and he'll definitely be a contender there for sure.
That was a fun program
Yeah,
for me
I
to
liked
watch
it. He was
too.
great.
I liked it.
Anytime, because I've seen him struggle at the national championships the last few years and kind of underperform, underdeliver, and then he skated great in the long program at the national championships in Detroit, and then again here, that was a great moment to see.
Yeah.
We are getting mixed reviews on the puns, so we're not sure if the puns will continue on future ice desks.
Oh, we don't tell jokes to make other people laugh. We just tell them to make ourselves laugh. So it's okay if they don't like them.
And I just steal other people's jokes, so.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's okay. What a great men's free skate. What a great men's event overall. Ashley Wagner, your one takeaway from the men this
I
weekend.
never thought I would say this.
Let it out.
Keegan Messing.
It was a great moment.
I'm in shock
It was awesome.
The words coming out of my mouth, I'm amazed. I got so into this program. I loved it. The jumps were so exciting. His spins are fast. He served up everything I would want to see. I mean, Shoma has my heart forever. He's one of my all-time favorite skaters. He can do no wrong in my mind, so, like, yes, him too. But honestly, Keegan.
Well done, Keegan Messing.
I'm going to say more specifically, just his second quad was so impressive. His second quad, the shoot the duck quad. Most people don't realize you get positive grade of execution for adding a shoot the duck in the middle of a quad toe combination. Of course you
We don't know
I'm
if
joking.
that's true or not.
But it sounds really cool. Quad toe, double toe that he did was the most impressive thing I've seen in skating. That low of a knee bend and still get a jump off at the end of it.
You already named your favorite moment, but to be honest, I forgot what it was.
It was Keegan Messing.
Oh, you guys all said Keegan?
Can happen.
Yeah,
Wow.
absolutely, 100%.
Yeah.
Okay, but I meant Shoma's quad toe. That's what I meant.
Oh, right, okay. I'm gonna go ahead and throw a bone to Shoma Uno, who won 4 continents the way that he came back in that free skate. Absolutely amazing. Really cool stuff, and it was really wonderful to see that great skating tonight here inside the Honda Center. Guess what? Tomorrow, more skating. It's the free dance. Shanae Kerr will be back here to join us in Ice Desk before the skaters come out, 1 o'clock local time, and then we'll be here one last time. Getting a little emotional. One last time on Bridgestone Ice Desk on Sunday. And I have to say, you guys, how great has Ashley Wagner been on Ice Desk this weekend? You've been so good. Thank you. Thank you so much. I think we all have enjoyed seeing you on this side of the desk. I know that maybe it's been a little bit strange for you, but it's been wonderful having you.
This side is so much more relaxing. I had chicken tenders with Adam, so
Yes, you did.
I mean, it was a really great night for me.
You're
Chicken tenders and figure skating.
You're
I
living
love
your
it.
best life.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thanks to Ashley. Thanks to Mike Weiss and to Brooke Castile. And you guys, there's more skating to come here. 4 Continents continues tomorrow. We'll be right back here on Bridgestone Ice Desk and Anaheim. Good night. See you guys. See you everyone tomorrow.